the CIA will help back research that the National Academy of Sciences is doing on ways to mitigate climate change. And the way that they're doing that is they're trying to figure out how they can manipulate the environment. So of course, conspiracy theorists are having their heads explode right now. This is something that they've been warning us about for quite some time. But of course, the intentions are a little different from what the conspiracy theorists are thinking about. Now, the CIA is spending about $630,000 on the NAS to see whether they can manipulate the environment and the weather to mitigate climate change. Scientists will study how humans might influence weather patterns, assess the potential dangers of messing with the climate, and investigate possible national security implications of geoengineering attempts. Now, one thing that I want to mention is, and it doesn't get talked about enough, is that climate change will have an impact on national security, because think about it, all of a sudden our limited resources will become even more limited, and all of a sudden everyone will be fighting for those limited resources. That could lead to a lot of war. So this is something that is in our national security interests, and I think that it's great that they're studying it.
So I'd like to thank the CIA for providing Alex Jones with hours and hours of programming now, and Glenn Beck, they'll never stop talking about this. An important note, as you alluded when you were reading the sorts of things they're going to be studying, they're just looking into like implications, consequences. It's not $630,000 to create the first prototype for a Sharknado machine.
And by the way, if you're going to do like a massive weather controlling secret operation, one, you'd keep it secret and not announce it to the world. Two, you'd spend a little more than $630,000
Exactly.
on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And the great thing is, no matter what they find, there will still be members of the legislature in North Carolina who won't believe whatever they say.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Even if it's the CIA. And you're right. I mean, I've already seen Alex Jones with the tornadoes. You think the tornadoes aren't created by the CIA for the purpose of launching sharks in the Midwest? Okay.
One proposed geoengineering method the study will look at is solar radiation management, a fancy term for pumping particles into the stratosphere to reflect incoming sunlight away from the planet. In theory, solar radiation management could lead to a global cooling trend that might reverse or at least slow down global warming. So maybe I have a false sense of hope, but this is the type of stuff that makes me feel like, okay, there is a chance that our planet will not explode. Because we're not going to do anything to change our behavior. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
The damage is already done,
Hey.
and it's going to continue to get bad.
Electric car. Doing my part.
Whatever, that's not going to change anything.
That's why when my wife tells me to recycle, and I always do it, but sometimes I'm like, come on, dude, really?
Yeah.
Okay. No, sorry, Al. Okay. But really,
cancel the show now.
you're right. Now we got to act on a global scale, and so U.S. and China have to come to an agreement. You should throw out your aluminum can in the right canister, but come on, right? So, but look, what I'm worried about there, Anna, is false hope, because I'm optimistic. I'm a huge believer in the humans. Okay, I believe in the humans. Okay, and Alex Jones is like, I knew it. He's one of the lizard people, and he's the one launching the tornadoes. Anyway, and I believe in science and hope and all that stuff. But then a lot of times, you remember that clown Jack Berkman comes on our current TV show, The Conservative Guy.
This is
Yes.
I was going to bring him up.
That's
exactly what I was going to bring up.
Because then he will come on the show and say, "Oh, we're going to solve it.
he
You don't
would-
have to do anything."
He would be like, see?
See?
I told you. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And be
Drill,
like,
baby, drill.
He's like, no, he's like, the science will get it. We'll figure it out. Right before we need it, we'll come up with a giant cooling machine.